Time for Big Game Breakdown. As always, live odds, sportsbookreview.com. Game 2 of a doubleheader on TNT. Pacers take on the Rockets in Houston. Houston 10. 232 the total. Early money on the over. First two games with Lou Williams, 135 points per game, 123 points per 100 possessions. Season leaders, Colton State at 114. It was bombs away Saturday. D'Antoni wants them to shoot at least 50 threes every game. They attempted 58 threes. They scored 142 points. They got to the line over 40 times. This is a lot of fun, Teddy, with this Rockets team now.
They sure are. They're dangerous right now. Look at the bench points. Against New Orleans, the bench scored 79 of 129. The starters only combined for 50, and most of that was Harden. Against Minnesota, the bench another 54 points. So in the last two games, the bench has basically been half of their offensive production. Lou Williams and Eric Gordon came into the post-All-Star break number 1 and number 2 in bench scoring. Williams, of course, with LA and Gordon with Houston. The first two games together, again, look at the numbers. Huge minutes, huge production. 77 points off the bench from Williams and Gordon. And not only can James Harden now focus more on distributing than scoring, he can also get some breathers. They can manage his minutes. Look at the numbers. Pre-break, more than 36 minutes a game. The two games since the All-Star break. And again, short sample size. But James Harden has been able to sit for nearly 16 minutes per game.
Yep. Also, most assists on three-pointers single season. He's number 1 at 287. And per game, 4.8. He's on pace for 392 if he plays all the remaining games. Here was Wiggins' quote after the loss Saturday. Quote, "There's nothing we can do. They run down the court shooting the ball." That's what, I mean, it is. It's bombs away.
But look at that, the graphic with the most assists on three-pointers again. Flash that for just one moment. We just finished the All-Star break. Okay? He just set the record all time for most assists on three-pointers in a season, and we're not even 60 games in yet. And of course, LeBron has more assists per game on three-pointers so far this season. Both guys obviously at record-setting pace, but that Wiggins quote stands out. There's nothing we can do, and that may be the truth on some level with Houston. When their offense is clicking, they're going to be one of those nothing you can really do about it type of teams.
Indy opened the break strong after the All-Star break at home. They won 102-92 against Memphis, but it didn't carry over. They lost 113-95 at Miami, so they're 1-7 in their last 8. Miami led by 5 with 8:49 left. George complained about a non-call. He got teed up and tossed on the referee. He said, "It's not like I said something derogatory to him. I said it's a bleep foul." He was a puppet with Spoelstra in his ear, and he called it. And we'll see if this brings the Pacers together. But they've been in a big funk here, and not a good opponent to play when you can't defend either.
Yeah, sure. I mean, and it's an interesting scenario here for Indiana. This is a team that's been in a funk. As you mentioned, 1-7 in their last 8, struggling on the defensive end and getting bombed in Miami the other night after George got ejected. So you say to yourself, given the fact that their best player got tossed, their team leader got tossed, there's a lot of eyeballs on Paul George in the last couple of weeks. He's been under the microscope a little bit with all the trade deadline nonsense. So you say to yourself, here's Indiana, they're facing all these distractions, they're coming off a real bad game. Is this a chip on your shoulder type of Pacers game tonight? Because if it is, maybe they're live here. If they're funked, man, Houston will uptown funk you up in a minute. Man, that team is on a roll right now. I'll tell you what, I am not stepping in front of the Rockets. It'd be Houston or pass for me, but I'm interested to see what Indiana brings this evening. If they come with a chip on their shoulder, it might be a competitive game.
Research before you bet. Be sure to check out SBR Picks for the best game predictions, breakdowns, and much, much more.
Hey guys, for the full video, go to sbrpicks.com.